Wednesday evening, must be time for the weather. Paul Hardaker is here, being videoed as well by his entourage that he comes with. If he's not having a meal somewhere, enjoying some sort of weather dinner, he's being filmed by his entourage. Which, of course, leads us nicely to a weather chat. How are you? Well,
I'm good, Phil, thanks, yeah. And you?
Very good indeed, good weather. A bit windy at the moment. We had quite a lot of wind over the weekend.
Yes.
And unseasonably windy.
It was.
There were sort of rare gales, I heard.
And it's not usual when it's such nice, warm, sunny weather.
Yeah.
I spent most of the weekend picking bits of my tree up from the garden.
Is this due to the fact that we've got the summer solstice? Is it when we have these points? You know, it seems daft, doesn't it? But when we have a similar sort of thing as we go change seasons here. Is it something to do with that, or does it have nothing whatsoever to do with that?
Well, I guess individual windy events like that are not so much driven by particular points in the solstice, but you do obviously get seasonal changes. So it's the solstices and the equinoxes are why we have seasons, because it's the Earth moving around the Sun.
Oh, right, okay. So yeah, it's all to do with the 23 degrees, isn't it? So that's why. I mean, I'm always amazed by the fact that we have seasons. I'm so pleased we do, because, you know, if the world was not at an angle,
yeah,
would we have seasons or not? Would we all have the same weather?
Not really, because the equator doesn't really see seasons. So if we were sort of at right angles to the Sun all the time, we wouldn't have it. It's only because the north and the south are angled towards the Sun at different times of the year at this 23.5 degree axis that they get more sun or less sun at different parts of the year. It gives them that different weather because the Sun gives energy to the climate and drives the weather patterns in a slightly different way.
We had the remarkable, funny enough, we're talking about the pit review, which was revealed today about the flooding and the remarkable weather we had last year. And I was just saying to you, in Croatia they're having unbelievable heat wave. At the same time, it fires off incredible hailstorms. You must be asked this on a regular basis. Are we having more bizarre weather, or is it just normal weather? We're just seeing it more often.
Well, I mean, some of the climate predictions are telling us to expect more severe unseasonal weather, if you want to put it that way, at certain times of the year, although I guess there is a lot of natural variability in the climate anyway, so from year to year we would expect variability and things to be a little different. Sometimes we'll have a very hot summer, sometimes we might have a very cool summer, and that's part of our natural variability anyway. But we do see some longer term trends. When we look over 20 or 30 years, we do see patterns emerging that says our climate is changing a little bit.
That being said, given the weather we've had so far this summer, to me it feels like a good old-fashioned British summer.
Yeah, it does.
And, you know, you never rely on it from one day to the next, really.
Well, we're talking about seasons. I think one of the good things about living in the mid-latitudes of the Earth is you really experience seasons a lot more, as we were just saying, than the equator or the poles. So you do go through this cycle of patterns of weather, and particularly because we're an island, big ocean around us and near to a continent, we do have a lot of variability in our weather, which makes it a sort of interesting climate to live in the UK.
Now, officially we're now into summer, aren't we? Because we've hit the equinoxes. No, the solstice, isn't it? So we're now into summer.
It's all downhill from here. Longest day was Saturday.
Yeah.
So there's four
I'm counting
parts.
the seconds now. I mean, every day is about 3 seconds shorter or something.
Well, there's 4 parts to the cycle, really, which is where we get our spring, summer, autumn and winter for. So there's the 2 solstices. There's the summer solstice, 21st of June, and then there's the winter solstice, the 21st of December, and that's our longest and shortest days. And then we have the equinoxes, which are called equinox, equal nox, so it's equal day and night, so there's 12 hours of day and 12 hours of night. Then we have the autumn equinox, and we have the vernal equinox. That's Latin, that's like us, it's youthful and fresh.
Right.
So it means in
Nothing to do with vernal.
So that's the spring equinox. So that's when we have equal day, equal nights, and they're on the 21st of September and the March period as well. So they intersperse the solstices.
Yeah, and obviously it's the complete opposite down under. Given the fact if you've got an equivalent place to Berkshire in the southern hemisphere, would you get the same weather, or is it completely different?
It's very different, because if you look at a map of the globe, you'll see that the northern hemisphere is covered by a lot of land, but the southern hemisphere's got a lot of oceans. And the difference between the land and the oceans do mean that our weather patterns can be very different. So it wouldn't be normal that the 2 hemispheres of the Earth would have similar weather.
When you sail around the world, the winds are completely different in the southern hemisphere.
That's right, yeah.
Because of
the sea and the land.
So we're learning something here today. I love all this. Given the sun we've had here so far, and I was saying a traditional British summer, What are you go to all these dinners and you speak to all these weather people. We've got some weather people here as well who know a thing or two about weather. What are they saying about the rest of the summer? Because the school holidays are on the way, and my wife's asking me, she's going, what's it going to be like over the summer holidays? Go on.
Well,
No pressure.
We are going for, I say we, the sort of Met community, and the Met Office particularly issues a seasonal forecast now for summer and winter, and the summer forecast is going for a slightly milder than average and perhaps a slightly wetter than average summer. So I think come September we'll see if they were right.
Right, okay. So what you're saying is that there could be a few days where the kids are in the house going, I'm bored, Mummy, I'm bored, Daddy, and there's also another question. I mean, they're going to cut the grass a bit more as well.
I think it might well be that way, yeah.
Now, we were talking about the weather blog, weren't we, last week? You've got the weather blog here. We've just had your photo taken. This is all to go at bbc.co.uk/Berkshire. We're after people's photographs of weather.
We are. Have we got any good ones yet?
Oh, we're getting it. They're loading them up because Linda has been on holiday, so we'll get some of those up shortly. But you've been blogging as well. But if people want to know more and also get their photos in,
yeah,
we love your bizarre pictures of weather, especially here in Berkshire, but anywhere else. What is the bizarrest thing you've seen in Berkshire?
In Berkshire itself?
Have we had we've had a mini tornado, haven't we? I know that.
Well,
obviously the rains last year were bizarre. They were unbelievable, weren't they?
There were some. I mean, that's probably for Berkshire. That's the most severe I've ever seen. I've seen lots of odd weather in other countries, tornadoes from a really long distance, some really severe hail and snow, and some fantastic clouds in South Africa actually.
Yes, I think, mind you, that being said, you should mention the snow there. We did have that rather strange dumping of snow, didn't we, in April? So we'd love some of your weather pictures. All you have to do is go to bbc.co.uk/Berkshire, or you can email them to me, phil.kennedy@bbc.co.uk. Alright, well I'll leave you and your entourage. Have you got enough, by the way, in there? You've been filming away. Yep, I've got the thumbs up, so... Paul, have a good week. I'll catch you next week.
Yeah, thanks Phil. See you.
Sandy Tom.